Today we're going to be talking about hobby goals, setting them, why they're important, and having a little chat about some of the hobby goals that I am going to set myself today for this year. So grab a brew, get comfortable, let's get waffling. So yeah, hobby goals. Why do we do them? Why do we need to do them as hobbyists? Well, we can often get distracted quite easily by the new shiny, be it Games Workshop dropping out something new or another company doing something new. And this isn't generally just something about Warhammer, it could be anything. And you've probably heard the term before, the pile of shame and all of that kind of stuff. I don't really like using that. It's kind of a very much of a negative term. Kind of implies that your pile of plastic parts and sprues and unfinished models is somehow shameful to have, and that's not what I'm about. So I generally like to call it a pile of endless possibilities, because that's exactly what they are. It is a pile of endless possibilities, and you have endless possibilities of things to do with them, and it's a little bit more a positive spin on it. So your hobby goal could be something as simple as clearing your backlog. That's always kind of good, but then you also need to rely on the fact that you're not going to buy any more models while you're doing that, because you're just adding more to it, giving yourself more work. So I like to look at my hobby goals as something that I can realistically achieve and aim towards. So these things can be as simple as setting yourself a time frame of, say, 6 weeks to speed paint or paint up your 2,000 point tournament army for an event that you're going to go to in 7 weeks time. You could even have it as you want to paint up 2 miniatures for display to go to enter Golden Demon next year. You could even have something as crazy as you want to paint your army up for Armies on Parade that happens in October at the end of the year. This is the kind of time to sort of do them. And obviously, you can kind of sort of get sidetracked and bogged. That's why I like to set myself some hobby goals. And some of the goals that I've had in the past have been quite good. I set myself a task of painting a 2,000 point Fire Slayer army in 6 weeks and achieved that, and ended up getting runners up at a local tournament with them in the painting category, which was kind of cool. I wanted to speed paint my Seraphon army for the last year's Northern Irish Age of Sigmar GT, which I did. I also fully painted up my Cities of Sigmar army to get ready for that event, which I had them, but I kind of switched to Seraphon at the last minute because Cities of Sigmar weren't performing the way I wanted them to do on the tabletop. So I've done a lot of stuff over the years and actually been quite happy with it. Right now I am about to set myself some hobby goals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my hobby goals in this video, and then at the end of the year in December I'll look back at this video and we can look at how I got on with my hobby goals. Did I achieve what I set out to do? Did I get sidetracked into something else? Very high possibility that could happen. And we can have a look at it. And you as my viewers, my subscribers, my community around the channel, leave comments in the video below, and of what your hobby goals are going to be. And then when we come back in December and do part 2 of this video, we can have a look at it, and I can read some of those comments out, those hobby goals out, and then you can reply in that video if you actually achieved it and if you did it, and we can have a actually look at that. And I'm in the process of literally doing the Discord right now, and I will get that up. And if you want to join the Discord, that will be in the description on the channel. So keep an eye out that over the next couple of days, and in there we will have an area for the hobby goals. We'll have the area for the hobby goals and your work in progress for the hobby goals. So you can even have hobby goal project, hobby goal challenge 2025. How's that sound? So for me, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking this down into 3 categories, maybe 4. There's going to be 40k, Horus Heresy, and the Old World. And then we're also going to have another little bit for Age of Sigmar. because I would like to get back playing Age of Sigmar, because I do quite enjoy 4th edition, and it would be quite nice to get back to playing it. So first off, we're going to kick off with Warhammer 40k. What do I want to do for 40k? Well, first things first, I've got two. Well, three technically. The first one is I want to get my Howling Griffins army finished, and once they're finished, that's that project done, and I'll be moving on fully to my main project, which is going to be my Blood Angels. I want to have a fully painted 2,000 plus points army by the end of the year. Now, I've already started this. I'm well into painting my Sanguinary Guard. Dante is painted, and I've got the Sanguinor sat here, a Sanguinary Priest, and I have 10 Assault Intercessors, and my Captain is almost finished as well. So the army has been started, and I started that, you know, at the back end of last year, so a little bit head start. But my aim is to fully move into Blood Angels, and as I do that, I will be doing videos and charting progress on that army. Now, this is a big one for me because it's I kind of want to get back to them. They were kind of one of my first Space Marine armies, and if there is a video on that of why I'm changing from Howling Griffins to Blood Angels, and they were one of my my first books. In fact, the codex just there is my original Angels of Death from the 2nd edition, and that was my original codex that I used back in the day as a kid, and it's not in great condition. It's been well used and worn, but it's an army that has definitely a lot of love and a lot of fondness, be it playing at 40k or even playing things like Epic Space Marine and Space Crusade and Space Hulk as a kid. The Blood Angels were a big part of that. So I really want to get them up and running and on the table. And I had my first game using the rules for the Blood Angels last night against Tyranids, and they're amazing. They definitely tick that box for that close combat style army that I really, really enjoy painting. Now, goal number 3. So obviously, goal number 1 is to finish the Howling Griffins, which is going to happen because they're almost done. And then the main thing is the Blood Angels. Goal number 3 is to start a Chaos Space Marine army. I love Chaos Space Marines. I always have loved Chaos Space Marines right back since 4th edition when I had like a big Chaos Space Marine army. That book for me was the pinnacle of what Chaos Space Marines have been, and I don't think they've ever been the same since 5th edition when they split Chaos Marines and Demons into 2 separate books. And I also really, really, really loved playing Demonkin in 7th edition. I really enjoyed playing my Khorne Demonkin and was gutted when the Khorne Demonkin never survived into 8th edition. I was devastated for that. Like, my army never got rules. I was so gutted. But yeah, the Chaos Space Marines, there's just something cool about Chaos. And now, a little bit of you, if you are new to the channel, my channel originally was known as 8-Pointed Star Painting. It was kind of hairy painting before that, but like when I first started really trying to get into properly into YouTube and on Twitch, I was known as 8-Pointed Star Painting. It was kind of a bit of a mouthful, so it kind of got changed to Pointy Paints, and that's why that is. Pointy himself, the little sort of mascot, he's a Chaos Warrior, and there is like a Chaos Space Marine version of him as well, which is kind of cool. And again, I've got them in place, so if I ever become big and into a position where I can do merch, I can do that. I even have dice with the Pointy on them as in the 6-sided dice. So like the Chaos is a big part of the channel and a big part of my love of Warhammer. There's just something integrally cool about Chaos, and I think it's kind of the sort of real interestedness that's about the Chaos gods themselves. And you know, everybody loves a bad guy, and like even in the Horus Heresy, I'm going to be playing the bad guys, and there is just something kind of cool about them. The Loyalists are always cool, and Primaire Space Marines look amazing, and Space Marine 2 and Titus and everything else is kind of nice, but there is just something rather cool about Chaos Space Marines. So I want to do a Chaos Space Marine army. but how do I go about doing it? Now, the big thing is, I would instantly go, I want to do World Eaters, because I've kind of dabbled with them before at the end of 9th, but I kind of like got rid of them because I was not really playing 40k, and I kind of stopped because I was playing more and more Age of Sigmar, and then I've got back into 40k. So I want to do a Chaos Army, but World Eaters is another close combat army, and I already have one of them with the Blood Angels, so I don't really need another one. So this is now, obviously, I will fully make my decision as of next week after we get the previews, because obviously we're going to see the Emperor's Children. So I kind of have a couple of options here. I've got a generic Chaos Space Marine army. We're using the generic Chaos Space Marine range and the generic Chaos Space Marine Codex. This is something I had looked at doing back in 9th edition. I even bought the 9th edition Codex and was going to do them. I do quite like the new plastic range that they've got, and I'm a big fan of a band. Would I do Black Legion? No, they're a little bit boring. I'd probably do something like Red Corsairs or one of the other Renegade chapters, because that's a little bit cooler, and you can kind of build your fluff and lore around that individual, around that Chaos Lord, rather than, you know, just doing Black Legion. Or I go for one of the cult armies. Now, obviously, World Eaters are out, don't need a close combat army. Death Guard do interest me in regards to a painting opportunity. Like, the Death Guard range is really good. They have Mortorian, which is really, really nice as a painting project. And Death Guard would be a good painting project alone. It looks like they're pretty much only going to be getting a new HQ. I don't think they need a new HQ. I would personally like the Games Workshop to give Nurgle some Nurgle-possessed Marines. Would be kind of awesome. So really big, fat, bloated, mutated looking possessed. They would be looking pretty cool, because they don't really kind of have that in a way. Thousand Suns would be also very nice. I do enjoy painting blue, and I don't own a blue army, so that would be kind of cool. And yeah, Rubicon Marines are pretty cool. Tartarus Terminators are quite nice. There's a really nice host of characters for them, and obviously they've got Magnus. Obviously, there's the Emperor's Children. Now, we'll see what the Emperor's Children look like next week. Obviously, Friday morning at 5 a.m. I will be, unfortunately, in work till 7. So when I get home from work, I will be on and making videos as soon as I'm home from work, and I will be jumping in and making videos and everything else about that, and then probably go to sleep for a bit. But yeah, like, I'm very excited about the Emperor's Children. We already know that we're going to be seeing Lucius the Eternal, and it'll be interesting to see what else we see. So I definitely want to do a Chaos Space Marine army at some point this year. So at some stage, probably in the not too distant future, you're probably going to start seeing some Chaos Space Marines get painted, and I'll probably use the tutorials that I plan to do as a way of deciding which of these armies. So as a goal, I'd like to paint at least 1,000 points of Chaos Space Marines by the end of this year. That's that. Now, for the Horus Heresy, my son's a Horus army. As you may or may not know, if you've been following me on Instagram, you will know that I have already started my Horus Heresy army. Yesterday, I managed to get hold of my Praetor, and I am doing Sons of Horus. Now, right now, I have 20 Tactical Marines, a Command Squad, and a Praetor and 2 Rhinos. In the next couple of weeks, I'm planning on getting a Kratos, and then I'm going to slowly start building up. By the end of the year, I want a substantial sized army where I can play some decent sized games of the Heresy, and I will continually build on my Heresy army as I go ahead throughout the year. I am fully airbrushing this army. I even asked Mrs. Pointy for an airbrush specifically for this project, and I got one for Christmas. I have got my Sansador odorless thinners for my oil washes, and I have been consuming Cult of Paint and Metas Miniatures videos, something chronic about painting and airbrushing in general and using oil washes and stuff like that. So I'm definitely learning a lot of new skills, but I don't want to just be a carbon copy of what they're doing. I kind of want to put my own spin on it, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So that's the Horus Heresy. I want to have at least 2,000 minimum painted by the end of this year, and I'm going to go hard. There's going to be, I want to get at least a unit done every month. So I'm going to be working on my Tactical Marines, getting them done. I know I could probably get all of them done this month, and my Praetor, and then next month I want to get my Kratos and get that done, and then maybe add a couple of other things. I'm going to be able to get like my Justarin on there and everything else. So there's going to be pushing through. So I'm hopefully by the summertime, within 6 months, of having quite a substantial sized army, and then by the end of the year having pretty much a full Legion army for Horus Heresy done. That's my goal. For the old world, I have my Bretonnians, and I'd like to get that army painted. Now, I do have them, and I would like to get them done, but I'm also really interested in seeing Beastmen, but I don't want to put too many projects on. And I just want to get my my Bretonnian painted. I already have a colour scheme in mind, and I'm going to be flying through. I haven't really painted any of it, to be completely fair. Maybe the odd one model here and there for a tutorial, but I'm going to be getting the whole army done and painted up and squared away, which is going to be super, super good. And then I want to start getting more games of the old world. Now, for Age of Sigmar is an interesting one, because obviously I've stopped playing it. And I kind of miss it, but I've played it for so long that I think that's the reason why I kind of miss it. And right now I'm umming and ahhing. I did pick up some Ard Boys with the potential possibility of doing Iron Jaws. Then I started reading the reviews of the Iron Jaws book and was incredibly disappointed that it was basically just a copy and paste of the index. There wasn't really much in the terms of change. And then I have some Khorne here, and I was like, oh, well, I could probably do Khorne army, like Blades of Khorne, because I have Scarbrand. That would be kind of nice. And I'm like, I don't know. So I would like to start an army. I would like to set my goal of at least having 1,000 points painted by the end of the year of a Age of Sigmar army. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm kind of looking at Stormcast, Blades of Khorne. Maybe something will pop up this weekend, next week at the preview, that will make me go, ooh, that looks cool. I quite like that. Let's jump into that. But I don't know. I've looked at larger models like Flesh Eater Court, Soulblight Gravelord with the vampires, because I like vampires. I don't know. I enjoy playing the game, but I feel that the armies don't really have that sort of pull. And unlike 40k, and I've kind of explained this in previous videos, that a lot of the time, I think for me, as I really get invested in the narrative of the story of the game, and that's what drives my interest for those armies. Or I really love Space Marines. I really love Chaos Space Marines. And the novels around them I can read and read, and Horus Heresy is such a vibrant background that you can spend hours and days and months getting invested in. Whereas Age of Sigmar, I feel that doesn't have that narrative pull. At least the books that they producing there aren't there. And I think that's a little bit, I think that's probably my problem. So I maybe kind of just need an army that aesthetically pleases me, and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. I can have a really cool looking army painting that. So I'll have a look and kind of decide on what I'm going to do, sort of looking at that as I do it. But yeah, it's one of those things. Hobby goals, other than that, it's going to be more of painting more and more tutorials for the channel. I've already said that in regards to what I plan for the channel in 2025. So yeah, I want to get more tutorials in there as well. But yeah, but like, let me know what your hobby goals for this year are going to be in the comments below. And like I said, we can revisit this at the end of the year. So I will At the end of the year, in December, I will go back, watch this video, I will read the comments of the video, and I will look at it, and I will answer. I will put your comments up on the screen and go, did you achieve these hobby goals? Here's what I achieved of my hobby goals. Did you achieve your hobby goals? And we can do this together. So it'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be kind of fun as well. You know, so let me know in the description below, in the comments below, what you want to do, and then we can do that together. All right. So, but that other than that, that's the video. Obviously, please subscribe. I'm very much trying to get to 5,000 subscribers this year, so I really want to go hard at it. And like, share, definitely comment and let me know your hobby goals. And if you want to support me in other ways, you can, but you don't need to, for my members and my patrons. And over the course of this year, there will be videos going back up on there as well. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. Awesome. Right. I'm looking forward to seeing what your hobby goals are. And yeah, it should be interesting and it's going to be fun. So good luck. And we'll see you in December. And we'll see if we've all achieved them. If not, don't be worried. You know, don't be worried. I'm guaranteed of hitting a stumbling block, just like everybody else. But that's the video, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.